You know, we're so used to thinking about weather happening down here, close to us. But what if I told you the most extreme winds on our planet aren't the hurricanes you see on the news? What if they're actually massive vertical storms raging at the very edge of space?
Sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, right? Well, recent discoveries have uncovered a phenomenon that totally challenges what we thought we knew about the upper layers of our world. We're talking about vertical drafts so powerful they could change our whole understanding of atmospheric physics and maybe, just maybe, rewrite the book on how life could travel between planets.
So to get our heads around this discovery, we've got to travel to a place so mysterious, so underobserved, that scientists have a perfect nickname for it: the Ignorosphere. This layer, officially the Mesosphere and Lower Thermosphere, or MLT, is way up there, about 80 to 100 kilometers high. It's where you see meteors burn up, where those beautiful shimmering night clouds form. For decades, our models told us it was a really calm, almost boring place with slow, gentle air currents. Turns out, those models were seriously wrong. And this is where it gets really interesting, right? The massive gap between what we expected and what's actually happening. Our best climate models predicted that the air in this region should be moving up or down at just a few centimeters per second. I mean, that's barely a crawl. But when we actually started measuring it, we found these constant fluctuations of a few meters per second. Okay, way faster, but still considered kind of normal. But then, scientists saw something that didn't fit at all. And this is where our story takes a hard right turn. In this supposedly quiet, peaceful part of the atmosphere, researchers started picking up these sudden, unbelievably violent events that just defied every single expectation. They started seeing things that were, statistically speaking, basically impossible. This quote from the research paper says they saw vertical velocities much larger than 5 sigma variability. Now, in plain English, that's the scientific way of saying this should not be happening. It's like flipping a coin and getting heads 20 times in a row. It's a total outlier that tells you something completely new is going on. And this is the smoking gun. What you're looking at here is the actual radar data. Don't worry about all the numbers, just look at the colors. You see that intense red and yellow pillar on the left? That is a massive column of air literally screaming upwards. And right next to it, that pillar of blue, that's air plunging straight down. These weren't just little breezes, these were vertical jets moving at speeds that our models couldn't even dream of. So what do we call these things? Scientists gave them a pretty awesome name: rogue vertical drafts, or RVDs. And they are exactly what they sound like: sudden, unpredictable vertical winds that are, for all intents and purposes, completely off the charts. They are the extreme weather of the upper atmosphere. And the speed here is just staggering. The most extreme of these drafts have been clocked at over 50 meters per second. To give you some perspective, that's over 110 miles per hour. That's the wind speed of a Category 3 hurricane. But instead of blowing sideways across the ocean, this is a wind tunnel pointing straight up towards space. So when you discover a force this powerful, it immediately opens up some seriously mind-bending questions, ones that connect our atmosphere with the search for life out there in the cosmos. Could these winds actually be a planetary escape mechanism? I mean, think about it. Are these RVDs strong enough to act like a cosmic elevator, lifting tiny bits of biology from down here all the way up to the doorstep of space? It's a pretty wild thought, but you know what? The physics just might work. Okay, so here's the theory, step by step. First, you've got liftoff. An RVD acts like a rocket, blasting tiny particles like bacteria or DNA way higher than they could ever go on their own. Second, once they get up past 150 kilometers, you get the handoff. Up there, they get slammed by hypervelocity space dust, tiny grains moving at insane speeds. And finally, that collision provides the escape. It's like a cosmic game of pool where the dust particle knocks the biological particles so hard it breaks free of Earth's gravity and gets sent into space. So, is this just a cool idea, or is it actually plausible? Well, let's look at the numbers. To lift a little strand of DNA, you only need an updraft of about 3 meters per second. A small virus needs about 22. Even a small bacterium needs a wind of around 42 meters per second. And remember, we've clocked these RVDs at over 50 meters per second. So yeah, the math says it's absolutely possible. Okay, so beyond the whole launching life into space thing, which is already wild enough, these drafts are a huge new factor in our own planetary system. We're looking at a new kind of extreme weather with very real consequences for us.
This chart really puts their rarity in perspective. It shows you all the wind speeds they measured. See how almost everything is clumped right there in the middle around zero? That's the normal, chill state of things. The RVDs? They are those crazy outliers way, way out in the tails of the graph. They're incredibly rare, but man, are they powerful.
But how rare is rare, really? Well, based on the data they have from just one spot over northern Norway in the summer, scientists think a major RVD event happens about once every 12 days. That is way more frequent than you'd expect for something so extreme.
So, the big takeaway here is that these things aren't some once-in-a-million-years fluke. No, they are a regular, repeating feature of our planet's atmosphere that we're only just now starting to understand. And the ripple effects are huge. Think about space debris. An updraft could shove junk from a burnt-up satellite into a higher orbit, making it a danger for way longer. They can also violently stir up the chemistry up there, kicking around metals from meteors that can mess with things like ozone. And maybe the most concerning thing? There could be a link to climate change. As the planet warms, some atmospheric events are happening more often, and scientists worry that could be increasing the chances of these rogue drafts.
So the discovery of rogue vertical drafts isn't the end of a story, not by a long shot. Really, it's the very beginning of a brand new atmospheric mystery that scientists are now scrambling to figure out.
So what's the bottom line here? We need more data, a lot more. The call from the scientific community is pretty clear. We need a whole global network of advanced radars watching this layer of the atmosphere all the time. It's the only way we're going to figure out how common these things really are, what causes them, and what their full impact on our world truly is.
And that just leaves us with this one final fascinating thought. We've only just found these incredible vertical hurricanes here at home, on our own planet. It just makes you wonder, what even crazier, more powerful forces are churning away in the hidden atmospheres of Mars, Venus, and all those other worlds out there?